Hello everyone, Scottish Lad here and welcome back to Scottish Lad Darts channel. In today's video I'm going to be doing something a bit different. A lot of people have been asking me recently for what I would think is a budget dart. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my top 5. So another top 5 list, I've done a few of these in the past, and it's the top 5 of my personal favourite budget friendly darts. So for me a budget dart these days is anything less than £40, which to me is ideal. You can't go wrong with it. So let's get on with the list. Top 5 of my budget friendly darts. Let's crack on with it. Coming in at number 5 we have the Red Dragon IKON range, and the only reason I'm including it is because they're less than 30 quid and there's 4 different models. You've got a bomber, a torpedo, a tapered and a straight barrel model. So for anybody getting into the game, it's absolutely ideal that you can have those 4 barrels to pick from. Ideally you'd like to start out with a straight barrel dart, but there is people out there that want to start off with something smaller, a bit chunkier, because if they have been using brass darts or whatever that came with board, they can be quite chunky. So as you can see, I've got the range of the 4 sets of darts kind of popping in and out here as pictures. But as you can see, the IKON atomised twin ring grip. I've just done a review of the 1.3. You'll find the video to this in the description. And for me, the IKON range with atomised the styling as well, it's giving you a touch of modernality into a budget friendly dart. So that was my number 5, the Red Dragon IKON. So let's move on to number 4. Hey guys, coming in at number 4 we have the Darts Clearance original, or Vincent van der Voort or Michael van Gerwen style, $16.99. It's the cheapest dart on the list. You can get them in 20, 22 and 24 gram. There's a few different variations of colours. The only issue is they do tend to run out of stock really quickly when they are in stock, and that's simply because they're a very popular dart. Again, I've reviewed these darts. They'll be in the bargain darts playlist. They'll also be here. Ideally, it's going to be a dart that's going to suit middle to rear grippers more, but the grip on the front is ideal as well. And for 17 quid, you can't really grumble at the quality of these either. Any of the darts I've had from Darts Clearance have always been top notch. But that was my number 4. So the Darts Clearance originals, Vincent van der Voort, replicas, whatever you want to call them. So without further ado folks, let's move on to number 3. Coming into number 3 now folks, we have the Designa Dark Thunder. You can buy them from Darts Corner, you can buy them from eBay. There's a whole host of places you can buy these, and they retail for around £25. They come in 20, 22, 24, 26 and 28 grams. I'm pretty sure there's a 30 gram in there as well. So there's a whole load of weight range, and they're very similar to, say, a Gary Anderson dart with the twin ring grip throughout and the black paint, which can be removed to make the dart a touch more grippier as well. I've reviewed the Dark Thunders as well. Granted, it was one of my earlier reviews, so the quality isn't as good as what it should be. But the Dark Thunders, for me, is always going to be a go-to for a lot of people, because it's got a consistent level of grip. It's got a consistent manageable grip as well. You cannot go wrong using a twin ring. It's a touch extra grip if you don't like a standard ring, pretty much. And for me, the Dark Thunders is smack bang in the middle of the list, and that's again because of stock availability. It's not all very often that they are available. But that was my number 3 pick, the Designa Dark Thunders. So let's move on and get to the penultimate dart of my budget friendly list. So let's move on to number 2. Right, coming into the number 2 we have the Red Dragon Pegasus or Swingfire. The standard ring grip dart with the black paint throughout. Again, you'll see the picture. It's a dart that's so effective and so simple to use. And again, like the Dark Thunders, it's just paint that's on there. It's not as if it's a PVD coating, so that can be removed. Like the Dark Thunders, they do come in a variety of weights. I'll leave links in the description to each dart on the list, and you can go and have a look for yourselves. But very budget friendly, very manageable price to be able to afford. And for me personally, the only thing missing from these is a longer point. I'm going to say that anyway because I do prefer a longer point, but if you are just starting out, a standard point will suit you fine. Once you get the fundamentals right with your dart, so once you start feeling comfortable using said dart, that's when you can start using longer points, longer stems, shorter stems, bigger flights, smaller flights, whatever you feel comfortable with. If you're comfortable with that barrel, all it is after that is fundamentally finding your setup for said barrel. So that was my number 2, the Red Dragon Pegasus slash swingfire. So let's move on to my ultimate budget friendly dart. So with that, folks, let's move on to number 1. I think a lot of people seen number 1 coming, and the number 1 budget friendly dart for me personally is the Winmau Navigator 3 from Argos. They're 23 quid retail. When I first got them, they were only 15. They have had to jump up a wee bit in price, unfortunately. But for 23 quid, you're getting a 90% tungsten dart with a standard ring grip, 2 sets of stems, 2 sets of flights, and your wee hard case, which is adequate if you're just starting out to take to say a pub league or getting into your pal's house to throw darts or whatever. But for me, the Navigator 3 is a dart that almost everybody in their granny could get used to, simply because it's so simple to use, it's so effective to use in the grip. Will be like all darts, it will wear away over time, but it will take a wee bit longer because it is just a standard ring grip. The grip level was a level 3. I'm pretty sure when I said on the review these, it's level 3 grip. But for me, for 23 quid, the fact that you're getting your 2 sets of stems, your 2 sets of flights, is the ultimate starter dart to get you started in your darts playing life. So let me know your top 5 in the comment section, folks. For me personally, I definitely have to say, out of the 5 on the list, if I had to start again from scratch and had to pick a new dart from from the start of my darting player career, I'd have to pick the Navigator 3. And again, that's simply because you're getting all that value for money, and the barrels are always going to be quality, especially coming from Winmau. Let me know your top 5 in the comments. So just to recap, my top 5 was the IKON range from Red Dragon, the Designa Dark Thunder, the Darts Clearence, MVG, Vincent van der Voort, that kind of style dart. Number 2 was the Red Dragon Swingfire slash Pegasus. They're both pretty much the same dart. And finally, the ultimate budget dart for me personally is the Winmau Navigator 3. But let me know your top 5 in the comment section. While you're there, don't forget to leave a like in the video, subscribe to the channel if you are brand new, and thanks everyone for taking the time to watch this. Stay safe out there, and of course, keep on darting.